Yo, what's going on, guys? Shorbzy here with a brand new video today. We're going to be ranking every single COD Zombies map. My criteria is basically just how much fun I have while playing the maps. I'm a big Easter egg guy. I also factor in things like atmosphere and like Wonder Weapon and stuff. But yeah, overall, it's really just how much fun I have while I'm playing any map. We don't have any remakes or anything. There's no like Chronicles maps. I have played most of these. The ones that I haven't played, I'm just going to put an F tier. I'm not going to make like a never played tier. If you don't like that, then you can argue with a wall. I think that's... No, there was one more. Oh yeah, okay, the Archon, and then I have no idea what Operation Deadbolt is. Is that not just Outbreak or something? I don't know. But the rest of these I have played. And yeah, so before we get into it, I wanted to thank you guys so much for the feedback and the support on my last video. Yeah, I appreciate all the love that you guys gave me there. It's inspired me to upgrade the setup here, so now we have the specs that we have are a laptop and the newly acquired mouse, which you guys may or may not be able to hear here, but yeah, besides that, I have played every single map here, and I think we're good to get into the actual rankings. We're gonna go in order, by the way. Just basically like, I guess, chronological order. So we're gonna go from Noct all the way to like the most recent BO7 maps. Alpha Omega, we are gonna have to drop back into here to give it a fair ranking later. But it is goated, just to clarify. So we're gonna start off with Noct. Where do we put Noct? I mean, the thing with Noct, it's the first map ever, obviously. A lot of people feel like you have to put it in like like S tier because it's the first map, but like in reality, it's just kind of, I don't know. It was good for the time. It was fun back in the day, but like right now, if I was to go back and play it, I can't say I'd be like too stoked. So I think we're gonna put Noct in D tier. It's the original Zombies map. It's pretty scary to play still, but yeah, when I go back, it's kind of whatever. There's not much to do on it. Verrückt, we're gonna put right next to Noct here in D tier. And introduced perks, which is neat. Besides that, I don't know. I don't care too much for Verrückt. They're cool. Like I don't have like a bad time when I'm playing them. There's just not too much to do. Shi No Numa introduced the WAF. No, we're gonna put that below those two. I don't know. Introduced the WAF, which is cool. I get pretty tired of seeing the WAF nowadays. I would say the atmosphere is just a little bit lesser than Noct and Verrückt, but I mean, yeah, overall it's a whatever. Moving on to Der Riese. I think Der Riese deserves to be in C tier. It's similar to the other World at War maps, but it kind of adds a little bit more. It adds Pack-a-Punch, and I think the atmosphere is better as well. It's also where the storyline gets really interesting. So I think just because of those reasons, it's a little bit above the other World at War maps here. Moving on to BO1, Kino der Toten. I think originally this was supposed to be a World at War map, and you can kind of tell, it kind of feels like it. I don't think again, Kino's like nothing special. I know a lot of people love it because it's like the most iconic Zombies map. It's a lot of people's first Zombies map, but going back and playing it, it's not too fun. I think we're going to put it right here behind Der Riese. Moving on to 5. Now 5, we get the first like not storyline crew, I guess would be the way of putting that. Pentagon is a very interesting setting. Like I said, the crew is actually really fun. There's the Pentagon Thief. 5's pretty crazy in the sense that like each level you go down, it gets scarier, I guess. At the very top, I mean, obviously there's a zombie apocalypse going on, but at the very top, it's nothing too crazy going on, kind of, the top, like the offices and everything. And then you get down to the war room, and the elevator just playing, like, I guess the elevator music while you're going down is a funny touch. And then from the war room, you go down to the labs, and it gets just crazy down in the labs. So I think 5 definitely was a step up in atmosphere compared to the rest of these maps, and I think we're going to put it here in B. Despite, the Winter's Howl sucks, it's pretty tight spaces, and then I guess overall it's your more hardcore map compared to Kino. So I think 5 deserves to be here, kind of in B tier. Moving on to Ascension. Ascension is going to be... I think Ascension, I don't know if it deserves to be in B. I think we're going to put it in C above Der Riese. Ascension's cool. I like how you start off the map and it's like not saturated at all, and then when you turn on the power, that's when it becomes more colorful. The landers are a really cool idea. You get the sickle. It's widely considered to be the first Easter egg ever, so it gets brownie points, at least from me, for that. So we're gonna put it above these two here, and it's gonna sit, yeah, here in C tier. Call of the Dead is gonna be up here with 5. I think I prefer it. Yeah, I prefer it above 5. I love the atmosphere here of Call of the Dead. In a game like BO1, where every map has like a special enemy, George Romero is the most iconic of them all, which is saying a lot because BO1 really nails it with the special enemies. Not to mention the atmosphere on Call of the Dead is phenomenal. I like the fog rolling in, the different like water patches, I guess, that you can go in and you'll freeze if you're standing there too long, but it's also a good way of calming George down. The Easter egg's pretty cool. I think it's definitely a step up above Ascension. It's nothing too crazy, but yeah, just overall, I mean, Call of the Dead's a good time, man. It's unfortunate that the wonder weapons suck, but at least they're unique. Like, they have unique abilities, and I guess I give them a little bit of credit for that, but overall, Call of the Dead, it's a pretty solid map. I think we're going to put it here in B. Alright, moving on to Shang. We're going to put Shang here next to Call of the Dead. I think we're going to put it above Call of the Dead. The atmospheres are polar opposites, but Shang just has so much stuff that's unique to Shang. You have the minecart like travel system. You have the water slide, the little water rocket things that shoot you up to the top of the map. We're introduced to 3 unique, I guess, new enemies with the Screecher zombie, the, I guess, fire zombie, as well as the monkeys, who have a very unique mechanic where they come and they basically take whatever drop. Like, you kill a zombie, it drops, let's say, a carpenter, and the zombies will take it and they'll run with it, and you have to chase them down, and basically you can use that to your advantage and kill it if it cycles to the the right drop that you want, whether that's like a max ammo or double points or whatever. So Shang gets a lot of brownie points for that, not to mention it's absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, just overall it's fun, man. Shang, like, it really feels like it's your like secret kind of island where you have to like discover whatever's hidden within it. There's another map later on that's actually one of my favorites that we're gonna get to that also kind of reminds me of that. But yeah, Shang, I mean, it's a pretty solid map, man. I respect Shang for what it is. So yeah, we're gonna put it here at the top of B. Alright, moving on to Moon. BO1 Moon is different. I actually prefer BO3 Moon to it, but BO1 Moon is still pretty solid. I know it's pretty divisive. Not everybody likes it, but if you like it, you really like it, and if you don't like it, then it's probably one of the worst maps for you. But storyline wise, I mean, blowing up the Earth at the end is obviously sort of the peak of the map. That's what a lot of people remember about Moon if they've done the egg. The egg itself is fun, although it's kind of annoying how you have to spin the box so much, especially in BO1 where you didn't have like gums or anything. I think, yeah, oops. So I think Moon, we're gonna put Moon above 5 because at least it has like some kind of quest. The astronaut's pretty fun. The hacker device is crazy unique, the different things that you can use that for. Not to mention it brings a new equipment with the QED. Overall, would I rather play Moon or Call of the Dead? I think I would rather play Call of the Dead than Moon, just by a little bit. I could always go back to BO3 Moon and play that, I guess. Maybe that kind of factors into it, but yeah, Moon here, in between Call of the Dead and 5 and B tier. Alright, moving on to Bus, Depot, and Farm. Those are going to be in F tier. Well, I guess they'll go above the maps that I haven't played, to be fair to them, but yeah, I mean, just your standard survival maps. I don't care about survival. There's really nothing to do on these maps, so yeah, we're just gonna put them in F tier. They don't really need like an explanation. And they're also just less creative than these, so they're just gonna stick here in F tier. I don't care about them. Town at least is kind of fun. Town can go all the way up here in D tier. I don't know, maybe I'd prefer it to Shinonuma, but like, would I prefer Town and Noct? At least Town has Pack-a-Punch, I guess. Yeah, maybe top of D tier for Town. It's just like these World at War maps, but a little bit more modernized, and I guess I would say I have a little bit more fun playing Town than I do these maps, so we're going to put it at the top of D tier. Moving on to Transits. The GOAT. Kidding. Transit's going to go maybe here in C tier. I know a lot of people are looking back at Transit and they kind of have like nostalgic feelings for it, I guess. I don't think it's, yeah, I would rather play Transit than the D tier. It's just kind of like, I don't know, the boss is kind of annoying. Actually, like getting set up, I think it's better if you play with 4 people because the setup process is a little bit easier. Plus, like, just more chaotic things happen, and you just have more fun, like, with your friends when you're playing it. I'm a solo guy, though, so I personally can't say that playing transits is too much of a good time. I'd say, yeah, it probably belongs somewhere here in C tier. I do give credit to Treyarch for trying something crazy in transit, but I don't think that they succeeded too well with the execution of it. Not to mention the jet gun blows. You, like, with the Easter egg in transit, you just like build the jet gun and then destroy it. I don't know. It's weird, man. I don't like transit much at all, but I do prefer it to these like just kind of boring survival maps. So I think we're gonna put transit. Yeah, I think this is actually a good spot for transit. A little bit in front of Kino, but behind Doriz for sure. All right, moving on to Paradox Junction. Where are we gonna put Nuketown here? I think Nuketown is a solid map. I prefer it to town for sure, so it's either going to be top of D tier, or maybe... No, I'd rather play Nuketown than Kino. Probably behind Transit in front of Kino. It's just, I don't know, maybe it just has a little bit more charm. It's the Nuketown that we loved in BO1 and then as well as BO2. They bring the M27, which is a unique, like it's you only get it on Nuketown, which I love when maps do that, when they have like a map specific gun. So yeah, Nuketown again, survival map. I do prefer it to Kino. We're going to keep it here in C tier. Alright, going on to Die Rise, the GOAT. The GOAT of all time, some are saying? I think Die Rise is going to be in B tier here. Again, it's kind of like Transit, where like Treyarch tried something crazy with Die Rise and didn't quite execute it to the way that they wanted to. I mean, the Sliquify is still fun. The Easter egg isn't the worst thing ever. And then, you know, once you like learn how to navigate the elevators and stuff, it's really not all that bad. I think the atmosphere is really cool. The skybox is awesome, and just the setting overall, like just being on at the top of this like insane skyscraper thing, I gotta give them props for that. I think we're gonna put Die Rise. We're gonna put Die Rise. Would I rather play Die Rise or Moon? I would rather play Die Rise for sure. Die Rise or Call of the Dead. We'll go Die Rise here at the top of B, above Shang. It's pretty close between like kind of these 3 here, but yeah, I do think I would prefer to play Die Rise over those 2. Alright, now we're getting to an insane run of Zombies maps with a little break in between here. But yeah, insane, at least Treyarch, insane run of Zombies maps coming up here, starting with Mob of the Dead, which is going directly in A tier. Mob of the Dead is insane. This is where Jason Blundell took over for Jimmy Zielinski, and you can tell. Dude, Mob is crazy. Like, the atmosphere off the charts, the crew off the charts, the story is insane. It's on Alcatraz. It's insane, man. It's a great map. It's the start of what was the peak of Zombies. Like, I have a really good time playing Mob. I love the Blundergat, the Hell's Retrievers, phenomenal. Traveling to the Golden Gate Bridge to Pack-a-Punch, and then using the electric chair to get back to the main map. Not to mention the introduction of Brutus, who's a great enemy, and then Electric Cherry, which is a great perk. The only thing really preventing Mob from being an S tier for me is the egg is pretty lackluster. I don't really have a good time when I'm doing it. You're kind of just like going to the Golden Gate Bridge a few times and then killing whoever Weasel is. So for those reasons, I think that's kind of what prevents Mob from being an S tier. We're going to keep it here in A tier. Alright, moving on to Buried. And Buried is going to be the first S tier map that we see on this tier list. Dude, Buried's so good, man. I don't know why, it feels like it's kind of like a forgotten map, at least in BO2. You know, when people think BO2, a lot of people's favorite map is Mob, and a lot of people's favorite map is Origins. So Buried's kind of sandwiched in between those two, and I feel like it gets forgotten about sometimes. Dude, Buried is crazy. Like, the atmosphere is phenomenal. You start off in the spawn room in this like factory thing, and if you fall off the ledge, you just die. But you know, if you obviously sort of dive down into that little like tunnel slide thing, and then you make your way down into the map, and it's just like literally buried. Western town. You have things like Leroy, the Chalk, the Maze, the Witches. Not to mention the Paralyzer is super fun. It allows you to kind of travel over different areas of the map where you otherwise have to run all the way around if you don't have it. The time bomb is, and it's probably caused a lot of people some heartbreak over the years. But dude, it's a fun equipment. Like even if you're just trolling your friends, I know it's bad for like gameplay and stuff, but like it's so unique that yeah, I just love it. I think like even if it's purely just to like troll your friends and like like ruin their game, I still think it's fun. So yeah, they bring the Remington, which is a great pistol. Vulturate is introduced here in Buried. There's just so much that about it that's unique that puts it in S tier for me. I mean, the maze, the fact that the maze changes every single time you go through it, and then at the end is Pack-a-Punch, but it's sort of down this like winding staircase in a well, and you could easily fall and die off that staircase if you're not careful. Dude, Buried, it's so good, man. Like, it's maybe the most unique zombies map ever, honestly. Like, yeah, just thinking about all the new things that they brought in and how fun each and every single one of them is, giving Leroy like the booze, the candy for different purposes. It's insane, man. Buried's so good. And that's before we even talk about the Easter egg, which I personally think is a ton of fun. Of course, it starts in transit where you have to kind of pick between helping Maxis or helping Richtofen. But regardless of what you do, it's still so much fun. And I mean, at the very end, of course, a lot of people's favorite Easter egg step ever, the sharpshooter step, where all 4 players sit in a different spot in the map and they have to shoot different targets that pop up, and only if everybody hits every single target do you complete the Easter egg, man. It's so good. So yeah, for all those reasons that I laid out, I think we're going to put Buried here in S tier. It rightfully belongs in S tier. It's a great map. Moving on to Origins. Origins is a fantastic map. We're going to put it at the top of S here above Buried. Where do I even start with Origins? Honestly, it's phenomenal. Like I think it nails everything. Like you're literally doing Easter egg steps from the very beginning of the game. Right when I spawn in, I'm grabbing the Maxis Brain, I'm getting the shovel, I'm flipping the switch for the lightning staff or getting the power on. Like it's like, for me at least, when I play it as an Easter egg guy, the second I spawn in, we're going, and you just don't stop basically until the egg's done. And it's so much fun every single time I play Origins, man. Not to mention like the weather changing and how that impacts the Easter egg on the snow rounds. You got to make sure that you're like checking the dig sites. When it rains, you're looking for that like glowing plane in the sky, like the robots passing through each different area. The entire thing, dude, from start to finish, like right when you load up Origins, you're just having a blast the entire time. Not to mention Samantha's talking to you throughout. Like it feels like it's like this, like, I don't know, it's the most like adventurous map ever. And it truly feels like that every time I play it, dude. It's such a good map. I love Origins. So we're putting it top of S tier. I love it. It's great. Alright, moving on to Outbreak, the beginning of Advanced Warfare Zombies. I remember playing Outbreak. Well, actually, I remember before Outbreak, there was, I don't know, was it like a Spec Ops thing or like a campaign mission where you were on Riot and there was like some zombies outbreak, and that was sort of like them teasing that there was going to be a zombies mode in Advanced Warfare. Regardless, man, I gotta say Outbreak is, I don't know, it's fine. Like Exos in general kind of sucks. Outbreak specifically, it's just like the Easter egg is whatever, the atmosphere is also whatever. I think I would rather play Nuketown or Outbreak. Nuketown or Outbreak. Nuketown's, it's decent. It's a survival map though. At least Outbreak has a quest. Maybe I'll put Outbreak above. Yeah, I'll put it between Transit and Nuketown. Not overly fun. The Easter egg itself isn't anything crazy. Like I said, it was the introduction. Overall, I don't know. It's just kind of whatever, I guess, when I think about it. Alright, moving on to Infection. They are calling Infection one of the maps of all time. I think we're going to put it here above Farm, at the top of F tier, so at least it's at the top. I mean, dude, the layout of Infection is just terrible. Like, it is not fun to play at all. The atmosphere is boring, the Easter egg's boring. There's basically 2 redeeming qualities about Infection. One of them being the alligator trap, which is actually sick. And then the other one being that like secret room thing where you have to like fill the pan with zombie blood or something. I don't know, like that like altar secret room thing. But besides those 2 things, like Infection blows. So we're gonna keep Infection here in F. Alright, going on to Carrier. I think Carrier is definitely better than Outbreak for sure. There's like some charm to the Carrier Easter egg, but there's also some really annoying stuff about it. That whole step of like collecting stuff from the whatever zombies and then going to the island and just like pecking at the ground like a bird is just so weird. I don't know. Carriers, Like that stuff's annoying, but then there's cool steps like the what is it, Plinko or whatever, where you like shoot the grenade and then it bounces and stuff. Like that one's fun. There's like the drunken step where you have to navigate the map while your screen's all messed up. Being in the cage underwater with that, like, is that a zombie shark or is it just a shark? Regardless, I mean, that stuff's cool, man. Like, I do actually appreciate that. I think we're gonna put Carrie at the top of C. It's so tough because the map has like really cool stuff about it, and then it has like the worst Easter egg steps ever. So I guess that balances out to being in like top of C tier here for me. Moving on to Descent. Descent's pretty similar to Carrier, I would say. I think I would prefer Descent to Carrier, but I don't think either of these maps is so good that we have to put it up in B tier. Like, they're kind of just, yeah, these two maps are kind of lumped at the top of C tier for me. Descent has easily the best atmosphere in my opinion. It's this like high-tech like ship thing. But no, it's pretty cool, man. Like, it's like raining outside and stuff. I don't know, it's just a cool, like, it's, you know, it's nighttime and the atmosphere is pretty cool. I don't know how else to describe it. I didn't really help anybody out that hasn't played Descent, but you know what I'm talking about if you have. The wonder weapon's fun, I guess. And then in the Easter egg, there's this like parkour step that's a blast, actually. So yeah, Descent and Carrier, they're both kind of meh, and then they have like really cool aspects of it that I think put it here in C tier. So we're gonna put it right here at the top, just above Carrier. We are moving on to, we're gonna do the Giant first. Again, the Giant, I guess it's different from Doris, but like not really. We're just gonna put it, I guess, right above Doris. It's basically the same thing, but it's snowing and yeah, I don't know. It's whatever, it's the Giant. Alright, Shadows of Evil. This is similar to Mob of the Dead for me, man. Like, atmosphere's insane. The crew isn't as fun as Mob's crew, but we get the Apothicon Servant, which is easily the most OP wonder weapon ever. The Easter egg's kind of fun. It's unfortunate that you can only do it with 4 players. The maps before it, where you can only do the Easter egg with 4 players, like Buried, it gets some grace, but Shadows, I mean, it's BO3. We've already seen a Easter egg that you can do solo in Origins, so I don't think Shadows of Evil gets the same grace that Buried does. Even so, the Easter egg's kind of mid. It's a horrible boss fight, but that's made up for with things like Lil Arnie being the monkey bomb of the map. It's super unique. Quest to upgrade Lil Arnie, as well as the little like dancing animation thing that he does when you do upgrade him, is super fun. And like I said before, man, the atmosphere is at like off the charts. I love Shadows of Evil, so we're gonna put it here in A tier. Most people would say S tier. I don't think it's that good, but A tier is a good spot to keep it. DE going here in S tier. Dude, Horizon Jock's a phenomenal map. Like, it's so much fun. I think people are kind of souring on it lately, and I don't really know why. The atmosphere is off the charts. It's this like snowy castle overlooking a town. It brings back the sort of a version of the dogs and the dragons, and you have to feed those to get the bow. The upgrades for the bow, all 4 of them are super fun to do, and they're super unique steps as well. Not to mention they're all viable, and then some of them are, like the lightning bow is pretty OP. The quest overall is super fun, and you have like Dr. Groff slowly losing trust in Richtofen as you go throughout the egg. It's super fun, man. I really enjoy Horizon Jog. Every time I play it, I'm making all 4 bow. Like, it's fun, man. It's a really good map. Not to mention you kind of do the reverse of Moon, where instead of Moon you blow up the Earth, and Horizon Jog you actually blow up the Moon where Dr. Groff is at, and then of course recovering Dempsey, and yeah, the entire thing's, it's peak, man. It's such a good map, so we're gonna put it here in S tier. Alright, when I was talking about Shang earlier, I sort of foreshadowed that there was another map that was like an island where you had to discover secrets and stuff on it, which is of course Setsubo no Shima, which is going here behind Origins in S tier. Dude, Setsubo's a phenomenal map. Like, it's the best map in BO3 for me. The Easter egg is super fun. The like skulls that you have to defend, and then you go down and you get the skull of Nansapwe, which is such a fun specialist. And then you use that to like uncover different secrets about the map, and there's the water underground where you have to like grow the plants, and dude, it's so fun. Like, the Easter egg's great. The wonder weapon, the KT4 that you upgrade into the Masamune, is phenomenal. The reaction that the zombies have when you shoot them, and like the spores that like grow on them and stuff, dude, it's so good. It's so good. It's such a great map. Not to mention it has the giant spider like mini like mid-game boss fight, as well as the spider bait side. Dude, it's so good. It's so good. Setsubo no Shima, man, like, it's, oh my gosh, it's peak. It's peak. It's peak. Zetsubo no Shima's, it's phenomenal. If you don't like Zetsubo no Shima, you need to get your head checked, okay? I have a video on my channel of the sounds of Zetsubo no Shima, so if you're not hip to that, then you need to go check it out, because the sounds of the map are like, they're so good. Zetsubo's so good, man. I love it. We're gonna put it in S tier. No, there was not one cohesive thought in my description of Zetsubo, but that's okay. I love it. S tier. Gorod Krovi. Right here in A tier. Dude, Gorod Krovi's a fun map. Like, I really enjoy myself while I'm doing it. I think we're gonna put it above these two maps, just because this Easter egg is actually fun to do. The atmosphere is war-torn Russia with dragons flying around. Like, it's a crazy atmosphere, man. Not to mention the Easter egg is super fun. You sort of, I guess, use these dragons to your benefit throughout it. Like, one of them is like a dragon strike thing that's kind of like an airstrike, essentially. And then the specialist of the map is the gauntlet that you use. It's kind of like a flamethrower, but you can also use it as like a little guardian that kind of sits above you and rains down fire on the zombies as well. On top of that, I would say Gorod Krovi is the first, like, good boss fight that we've ever gotten. The ones before it have been pretty lackluster, like D's boss fight isn't great. Don't even get me started on Zetsubo's. Shadows is a nothing burger, and then I think, Descent, I guess, technically has one, but that's also boring. So GK was the first, like, great boss fight that we got. So I think for those reasons, we're going to put it at the top of A tier here. Moving on to Rev. Oh boy, Revelations. I actually like Rev quite a bit. I think we're gonna definitely put it above Mob and Shadows. I don't know if I'm gonna put Rev above GK though. The atmosphere of Revelations is insane. For those of you that maybe don't know, I assume you all do, but just in case you don't, it's sort of like a combination of all of like previous Zombies maps, and a lot of people don't like it. I think the atmosphere is bonkers, dude. It's like the skybox is crazy. The fact that, like, the second you spawn in, a giant, what are those called? Apothecans. A giant Apothecan comes down and eats Pack-a-Punch, which is right in front of you. And then later you sort of trap it, and then that's where the Pack-a-Punch room, which is in the Apothecan's stomach. Like, that as a concept is insane. That's insane. Like, it's super fun, especially, like, just thinking about that right now, like, that is nuts. It is kind of annoying how there's no unique wonder weapon. It's just the Apothecan Servant again. You kind of just spin the box to get set up, basically, to start the games off. But the Easter egg itself, I think people, they don't like it because, like, the rock shooting step. But I don't mind that. I mean, I think overall the Easter egg itself is fun. I enjoy myself when I play it. I'm thinking I'm going to put this above GK now, just because I think the atmosphere is a little bit better. And I would say, I don't know, GK... No, we're gonna do that. I think Rev is a little bit better than GK, so it's gonna be here at the top of A tier. Alright, we're gonna take a little intermission here to just kind of put some of these, like, I don't want to end the video on, like, survival maps, so, or the Dead Ops arcade maps. I would say BO7's is, like, maybe here, top of C tier. I enjoy myself when I play it. I vaguely remember BO1's, but I have played it, so I'm gonna try to rank it. Maybe, like, above Kino here. I think those are, like, fair rankings, just kind of there in C tier. Again, I'm not, like, an expert on them though, so if you disagree with me or want to call me an idiot or something, then feel free to sound off in the comments. And then we're also going to rank the BO7 survival maps, just because, again, I don't particularly have, like, strong feelings about them. I would say Mars. At least Mars is like it's like a fun challenge. I like it. Exit 115 is probably my next favorite. And then we'll go Cosmodrome, I guess, and Farm. I don't know. Like, I don't have strong feelings about these at all. They're all just right next to each other for me. So, yeah, I guess we'll just put all those in D tier. I don't care about them much at all. Alright, that was fun. We're going to move on to Zombies in Spaceland. Zombies in Spaceland is an A tier map. A lot of people have it in S tier. I don't personally. It's actually a lot of people's favorite map ever. It's super unique. Obviously, the introduction to Infinite Warfare zombies. It kind of falls short in the same ways that Mob and Shadows do, though. Like, the atmosphere is insane. Wonder Weapon's super fun. The little, like, pistol ray gun things. But, dude, the Easter egg sucks. Like, it's not a good Easter egg at all. The only difference being that the quests for the different pistols are at least fun, as well as it actually has a fun, like, alien boss fight thing. So I think we're going to put Spaceland here above Mob. But yeah, just to glaze it a little bit more, I mean, there's the arcade where you can like gain tickets. There's the roller coaster ride. Like there's a lot of like really fun, unique stuff about Spaceland. But again, the Easter egg itself just doesn't quite do it. So yeah, we're gonna put it right here. All right, Rave is gonna go right here behind Spaceland. Honestly, to me, Rave and Spaceland are pretty similar maps. I mean, they're both phenomenal atmospheres. The Wonder Weapons are super fun to build and use, but the Easter egg is kind of just the downfall of both these maps. The only difference, the only reason why Spaceland, I would say, is a little bit above it is because the boss fight's actually pretty fun. I don't really care too much for the Rave boss fight, but I mean the slasher, like the cabins, the like it really feels like you're in the map when you're playing it. They absolutely crushed it with immersing the player like in the sort of slasher feel. I love the fact that you can go into like whatever rave mode or whatever, like I think you just get baked, like is that what happens, and then the slasher like spawns in, and it's actually terrifying. But yeah, I think Rave, I think it's like, yeah, I do enjoy Rave more than your average person, and we're gonna put it here behind Spaceland. All right, on to Shell and Shuffle. I do not like Shell and Shuffle much at all. The Easter egg is not fun. The Wonder Weapon being like the Chi or whatever, like that blows. The boss fight's really cool though. I actually really enjoy the Shell and Shuffle boss fight, but besides that, I really don't care too much for it. The question is, how high am I? Because like at least it's an Easter egg. At least it's like something to do. I do think I prefer it to all the C tier maps. I don't know if I want to put it up here though. Like it's really, I can't say I enjoy myself too much when I play Shell and Shuffle, especially coming off of these two maps. The atmosphere definitely took a step down. The Wonder Weapons took a step down. The Easter egg was longer at least, but it's less fun. And then yeah, I guess the redeeming quality is the boss fight. So yeah, we're gonna put Shao Shuff here, top of C. Attack of the Radioactive Thing, I'm a fan of Attack, dude. I think it's a great map. I would definitely prefer it to all of these B tier maps, and the question is, do I want to put it here in A tier? I would say the atmosphere is definitely less than Spaceland and Rave, but I mean the boss fight, I mean I mentioned Shao Shuff's boss fight being fun. I think Attack of the Radioactive Thing is the best boss fight in all of Zombies, dude. It's so good. It's shit. The mechanics are super unique. Like there's so many different things that you have to do on top of remembering a bomb code from earlier in the Easter egg, and if you don't remember the code, you're just like screwed. Dude, Attack's great. I enjoy it. I think we're gonna keep it here at the bottom of B. I do think it's just the atmosphere, and then the Easter egg's okay. It's a little tedious, but I don't think it's too bad. It's not as bad as people say. People say you need like a like PhD or something to do the Easter egg. I think it's just like any other Easter egg, honestly. You just kind of look up a guide and follow the steps and don't mess up, and then you're good to go. So we're gonna put Attack here, top of B. All right, Beast from Beyond. This one, I've actually played it pretty recently, and I actually kind of liked it, man. I don't like it as much as Attack, but like the Easter egg's whatever, but that's kind of the theme of IW, is the Easter eggs being whatever. I kind of like the atmosphere though. The fact that you're on this like whatever, like space station on a planet, some random planet, I think. I don't know if we get the description of the planet, but yeah, there's like a alien on like a table being dissected or studied or whatever, and then there's a teleporter to the Willard Wyler's theater. When you go outside, it's like snowing, and you can see that giant planet just right next to you in the distance there. The atmosphere is pretty sick, man. I'm not going to count the Mephistopheles boss fight as being a part of this, and that obviously is going to bring it down quite a bit for me. So I think we're going to put Beast maybe at the back of B tier here. Would I rather play Beast or 5? I think I'd rather play Beast than 5 and Moon, but maybe not Call of the Dead. Yeah, I think we're going to put it behind Call of the Dead here. I think Beast probably belongs right about here, I would say. All right, Final Reich, the beginning of World War II zombies. I'm a fan of Final Reich. I think we're gonna put it at the top of A tier here. I love the atmosphere. It's this like sleepy town with like the snow like lightly falling down. You can actually like hear like the wind and stuff. It's a real like they really set the table really well with the atmosphere in Final Reich. But from there you start like opening the map up a little bit more, and then you go underground and you see just like the worst things that you've ever seen in your life. But overall, I mean, it's a great map, man. The Easter egg's super fun. The boss fight is horrifying. Although you don't really interact with the Panzer Mortar too much, it's still chasing you around, which is terrifying. And yeah, I mean the quest itself is really fun. I enjoy it. So I think Final Reich. We're gonna keep it here at the top of A tier. All right, moving on to Grossenhaus. I like Grossenhaus, man. It's tiny, but like you get 2 Easter eggs, basically one that opens up the box and then another one that allows you to upgrade the weapons in the box. Not to mention there's basically like a Wonder Fizz there. Yeah, I think they really like packed the small map with a lot of content, and I do enjoy playing it. I'm wondering, would I rather play Grossenhaus or Ascension? I'd rather play Ascension. Grossenhaus, I'd prefer it to Kino, BO1, DOA, Nuketown, Outbreak, Transit. Maybe right here behind Derice. I think that's a good spot for it. Like I said, my favorite survival map. It's fun. I just enjoy it. It's a really solid, cool survival map. All right, Darkest Shore. Fun fact: this used to be my least favorite zombies map ever. I have played it more recently, and I gotta say, man, it's grown on me like a lot. This and another map that we'll get to soon. These maps have like totally flipped for me. They both went from like least favorite map ever to pretty darn close to like a top 10, top 15 map for me. So Darkest Shore, I think I prefer it to everything here in B tier. Shoot. Am I gonna put Darkest Shore? I would rather play Darkest Shore than Shadows of Evil right now, and I'm not kidding. Maybe even Mob 2. It's not bad, man. Like, people will say the Darkest Shore has like no atmosphere, which, unless they just mean like color or something, I don't understand, because the Darkest Shore's atmosphere it's easily the scariest zombies map we've ever gotten. You're introduced to the map by being on this like tiny little boat behind a group of, I think it's like soldiers ahead of you, and then they get lost in the fog, and then out of nowhere all the water is red, and then the boats are empty, obviously showing that they were killed. And when you spawn in, it's actually super interesting. There's like a whale next to you, and all of its guts are like spilled out onto the beach, and like 40 or something zombies start kind of marching at you out of the water, and you can obviously choose to shoot them with your gun or like knife them, but there's also turrets behind you, which is the preferred way because there's so many, and it's just a really unique way of opening the map up, and it really sets the tone. Plus it's also a good way of getting some points early on. But yeah, man, I mean, like just the atmosphere overall, like I said before, it's not super saturated, like there's not a lot of color going on to it, but that kind of ties into the atmosphere that the map's like trying to go for. It's super gray, it's super dark, it's trying to make you feel like unsettled the entire time. Fog rolls in periodically and introduces the scariest special zombie we've ever seen in the Mukler. I gotta tell you, man, when the fog rolls around and you're wandering around and then a Mukler spawns out of nowhere, it's horrifying. It has a great atmosphere like the maps that surround it, but in a completely different way. Like I said, it's the scariest zombies map ever, like easily. Like nothing even comes close to being a second. And I think for that alone, it deserves to be in here in A tier. But yeah, the Easter egg's great. The boss fight is super hard. I think people don't like the boss fight because they didn't really scale it for like solo players, which I get, but it's kind of like a unique experience. Like if you beat the Darkest Shore boss fight, that's like an actual achievement. Like it's really tough. And one idea that is true for every map, but is like really evident with Darkest Shore, is the more that you do it, the better that you get at doing the Easter egg. There's just more like, I guess, tips and tricks and like secrets to know while you're doing an Easter egg that make the steps a lot easier when the first time that you do them, they're like super overwhelming. So yeah, man, the Darkest Shore, it's horrifying and I love it. And the only reason it's not higher, I think, is because the wonder weapon isn't all that great, and I think if it had a stronger wonder weapon, then it would probably be like maybe a little bit towards the top of A tier here. All right, Shadowed Throne, the follow-up to the Darkest Shore. Gosh, this one's tough. Most people, like this is not most people, this is a lot of people's favorite map in World War II, or at least like top 2 behind Final Reich. But I don't know, Darkest Shore, they took a lot of risks, and I really appreciate that about them, on top of being horrifying. Shadowed Throne, they kind of stepped more into like the adventurous route, but it feels, I guess, yeah, it feels more like an adventure game than it does like a horror game at this point. And it also just feels like they take less risks. The Easter egg's cool. The atmosphere is cool. I really am not a fan of the boss fight at all, but overall, like, it's still a pretty solid map. I don't think I don't hate it, but I definitely don't prefer it to attack. I think I would prefer it to. Would I rather play Beast from Beyond or Shadow? I think I'd rather play Shadow Throne. Yeah, maybe Shadow Throne goes like right here, but behind attack. I definitely think it's a step below Final Reich and Darkest Shore, but again, it's not like horrible. I think here in B is fine. All right, the Tortured Path. Oh man, Tortured Path it's not great, man. There's like it's 3 maps that are small and they basically like require you to do different steps. I mean, obviously like that's an Easter egg and I'm an Easter egg guy, but they're just not really all that fun. I do still prefer playing that than like a survival map though, so I think maybe top of D tier here. No, I would prefer it to Kino. I'd prefer it to that. Would I prefer? Do I want to play Tortured Path or Transit more? I think I'd rather play Tortured Path, maybe than all of these, all the way to. No, dude, it's Tortured Path. Come on. Would I rather play Tortured Path or Darius? I think I'd rather play Darius. Yeah, I think that's a good spot for it. When I was putting it all the way up here, I think I was kind of overestimating how much fun I have playing Tortured Path. So, yeah, I think right here behind Darius is a good spot. All right, Frozen Dawn, the conclusion of World War II zombies. I think we're gonna put Frozen Dawn right here behind Final Reich. The atmosphere is really cool. It's these like ice caves. Each room is a little bit different than the other one. Like it's not like super dynamic from one room to the next, but no, it's a really cool theme that they have going on. It's 4 melee wonder weapons that you have to unlock, basically. I don't know, like, I guess unlock, earn. And every time you get a new wonder weapon, you sort of, like, Klaus speaks to you, and, like, it's just, like, this cool, it feels like you're, like, finally deemed worthy to, like, wield this wonder weapon, and it's super fun. The Easter egg is basically just getting the 4 wonder weapons and then upgrading each one, and then you're in the boss fight, which... it's kind of like a watered down version of the Origins Easter egg with, you know, it has less like extra steps to it, but no, like upgrading each one is really fun. I would say outside of the shield's kind of annoying, but like the flail upgrade, the scythe upgrade, like they're all pretty fun. I like them. And then kind of the bow on everything is putting the 4 different wonder weapons and the 4 different pillars on that like cliff that oversees the rest of the map. And then there's that volcano in the distance with the 4 pillars around it, and each one erupts as you put a different wonder weapon in the pillars on the cliff. That's super cinematic, and yeah, I really like it. And that's obviously what takes you into the boss fight, which is the God King, which is a super challenging boss fight. There's a way to cheese it, and then there's a way to kind of make it a little bit easier on yourself. I like to do the sort of little bit easier on yourself route, so I can still enjoy the boss fight, but yeah, overall, I really just have a great time while playing Frozen Dawn. I'm a big fan of it. Alright, we are moving on to Voyage of Despair, one of the first maps of BO4. Dude, Voyage of Despair is a good map. I enjoy it. It's, I think it was overhated for a while. I think some people are kind of starting to come around to it, but the Easter egg's super fun. The atmosphere is insane. It's literally modeled after the Titanic, which is crazy. Honestly, it doesn't play too well as a zombies map. Like, it's super narrow and you can get trapped pretty easily, but I mean, I really do enjoy myself while I'm playing it, even if it is like kind of clunky in terms of how you navigate the map and everything. But like I said, the Easter egg's really fun. Some of the steps are a little bit tedious, but like overall it feels really rewarding while you're playing it. So I think Voyage we're gonna put right here below GK. I'd prefer Voyage to zombies and the maps after that. Overall, I really like what Treyarch did with Voyage and sort of the beginning of the Chaos storyline here. Alright, the other Chaos map that we got at launch was 9. 9's another great map, man. I kind of bounce between that and Voyage. I think they're pretty different experiences, where I think 9, at least in terms of layout, is much more like beginner friendly, where Voyage is sort of like the hardcore map of the Chaos storyline. I actually recently did the 9 Easter egg and I had a great time, dude. Like, yeah, the 9 Easter egg is super fun. The fact that you're like in this Coliseum or like gladiator arena thing and you have the crowd cheering you on the entire time. The Easter egg is just appealing to the 4 gods. Like it's so good. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put 9 actually above Rev. Like it's a really, really fun time, dude. I love 9. I will say the wonder weapon is kind of boring. It actually, is pretty good if you use it the way that you're not supposed to. But even though it's powerful when you use it like that, it's still like I said, pretty boring. It's a scorpion that shoots like electricity, I guess, and overall it just doesn't feel like super fun to use. But it's not the worst thing to use in the world, and the like elephant boss fight, or the 2 elephant boss fight is crazy, dude. Like that's an insane boss fight to have. So we're gonna stick with 9 right here behind Frozen Dawn, but above Rev. All right, Blood of the Dead. Gosh, where do we put Blood of the Dead, chat? One thing I know for certain is that I do prefer it to Mob, even if it's just by a little bit. Would I rather play Blood or Darkest Shore? I think I would rather play Darkest Shore, maybe? No, maybe Blood. I guess it kind of depends on the day. Maybe for the sake of... I don't think I prefer it to Voyage, so I do think it's kind of somewhere in between this like range here. Would I rather play Would I rather play Rave or Blood of the Dead? I'd rather play Rave, and I think I'd also rather play Darkest Shore than Blood of the Dead. So I think, yeah, literally just right above Mob, I think is a good spot for Blood of the Dead. We're going to put it there. Alright, Classified is easily the worst map on Black Ops 4. It's not even close. It basically takes everything good about 5 and neuters it. Like, we don't get the Pentagon Thief. We don't get, like, a crazy atmosphere. It's just like I don't know, it has a different, like, feel to it. It doesn't feel, like, scary like 5 does. It's kind of like a watered-down version of it, which I do not appreciate. Not to mention the Easter egg is literally getting to round 150, which is one of the most boring things ever. I actually tried it one time, paused my game overnight so I could sleep and take a break from being bored to death, and then when I woke up it like kicked me out. So I was on like round 123, I think. 120, yeah, I think it was 123. So yeah, Classified's a joke. We're gonna put it. Would I rather play Classified or I'd rather play Doris. I think I would rather play Grossenhaus. Transit? No, I think that might be a little bit too mean to put it behind Transit. So yeah, I think Classified maybe, yeah, right there between Grossenhaus and Transit. I think it's a good spot for it. Alright, Dead of the Night. You guys might remember earlier that I said Darkest Shore used to be my least favorite map ever, and there was another map similar to it that I've completely flipped on. And that map is Dead of the Night. Well, folks, I'm here to say that Dead of the Night is an S tier for me. And we're going to put it right behind Zetsubo and above Buried. The things I used to hate about Dead of the Night were basically like the vampires and just I guess it felt super complex. Like the Easter egg was really annoying to do when I at least first started to do it. Now when I go back and do it, it's so fun. I love Dead of the Night. The vampires really aren't an issue. Like they're pretty weak. They're kind of just your typical like fast but weak special zombie enemy thing. And yeah, like I said, the Easter egg it's super fun and it's like eventful. Like there's things that actually change about the map and it makes it feel like you're actually like doing stuff. Like it rewards the player for going through the troubles of doing the Easter egg. And that's before we even get to the atmosphere, which is off the charts, dude. It's insane. It's this like Victorian style mansion that branches off into 3 different areas, one of them being a crazy laboratory, the other one's a cemetery, and then sort of at the front of the mansion there's like the woods, dude. It's crazy. It's one of the best atmospheres ever, and the Easter egg's super fun on top of it. Alistair's Folly, or I guess upgrades to Alistair's Annihilator, is a super unique wonder weapon too. You upgrade it twice and you get new abilities with it each time, I think for a total of 4 abilities. And yeah, man, overall I just love the feel of the map. Like it's super fun. The werewolf, yeah, it's all so good. So yeah, Dead of the Night, we're gonna put right here below Zetsubo. I'm so glad I've changed my mind on it, dude, because it's so good now. I love it. All right, Ancient Evil. This is another A tier map. It's just where do I want to put it in A tier is the question. Would I rather play? I think I'd rather play Ancient Evil than Voyage. Would I rather play 9 or Ancient Evil? Just because like these are the chaos maps. Ancient Evil or 9? I think Ancient Evil. I would prefer Ancient Evil to 9. The Easter egg is basically helping out Oracle, who's this woman, I guess, that's like trapped there. And to do so, you need to, like I said, get the hands and there's obviously other steps on top of that as well. But like your upgrade of the hands, it's super fun. The atmosphere is insane. You literally take Pegasus to Pack-a-Punch, which is something that we saw in Gorod Krovi with the dragon, but it's its own spin on it. And dude, yeah, it's a super unique, fun map. I really do like it. So we're gonna put it here. Yeah, I think below Frozen Dawn's a good spot to have it, but above 9. I think it's fair. All right, Alpha Omega. I know I memed at the beginning that it was S tier. And we're putting... No, I'm kidding. We're gonna put Alpha Omega... Where are we putting Alpha Omega? I played it recently. I wanted to make a video, or I did make a video on it actually, and then accidentally deleted it because I'm an idiot. Basically just glazing Alpha Omega, dude. I played it. It's so fun. I think we're gonna... Would I rather play Alpha Omega or 9? Oh, dude, they're right there. I don't know. I think I would definitely prefer it to Rev. So it's kind of in this trio of like BO4K, or I guess BO4 maps. Alpha Omega or Ancient Evil. I had such a blast playing this. I want to say, dude, I might put it above Ancient Evil. And we're gonna put it behind 9, I think. I think that's a good spot for it. Alpha Omega is a great zombies experience. It's one of the most overhated zombies maps ever. The like 50s, 60s Americana, like super patriotic feel of the map is very felt. Large in part due to Rushmore, who's this like AI system that you interact with throughout the entire Easter egg. And the entire time he's saying these like super, like I said, super like Americana quotes that are like, dude, they're so funny. I love Rushmore. He's such a charming aspect of the map. Like there's a few different maps in BO4 where you have to sort of like do these trials to either help someone or you just get rewards from them, and by far Rushmore is the most fun to interact with during an Easter egg. And of course the Easter egg being you're essentially just proving your loyalty to Rushmore by doing steps that are corresponding to core values of Broken Arrow, which is essentially the facility that you're in Alpha Omega. And yeah, dude, it's fun. It's a nice, simple Easter egg, and I love doing it every single time I play it. The only sort of downfall of Alpha Omega is honestly the Nova Bombers, which is everyone's gripe with Alpha Omega. I just think the positives of the map way outweigh the negatives, which is obviously the Nova Bomber. So yeah, I think here just below 9, I think that's a good spot for it. Alpha Omega's peak. All right, I just realized we only have one row here to rank. So yeah, we're towards the end of the video, I guess. Tog is the final map of BO4, and I think it's definitely not like, I don't think it's in this like trio of BO4 maps here. It might be, no, I'd rather play Voyage. I think I would rather play Tog than these maps. Maybe there. Tog's fun. It's Call of the Dead, but it's such a different feel to it, and there's the areas I think that they added to it are actually pretty fun. You don't, the facility outside of the Easter egg, you don't really go to the facility too much, but you're interacting with what's his name? Is it Pablo? Is that his name? Pablo? And the lighthouse? The Easter egg's pretty fun. It's a little bit repetitive, I guess, but I still enjoy myself while I'm doing it. Not to mention it has one of if not the best side eggs ever, where it sort of pokes fun at Shangri-La being on Mars, or maybe confirms it. And yeah, I think it's a different take on Call of the Dead. They're both great atmospheres, but I think Togs is just, I don't know, it's better. I feel like it just plays better. Would have been nice to see George back on the map, but I think he'd passed at that point, and they have a nice little tribute to him, and yeah, I do appreciate that about Tog. So would I rather play Tog or Darkest Shore? I think I would rather play, yeah, I'd rather play Tog. Maybe right here below Voyage. Maybe we'll just pair that with the other BO4 map. I think that's a good spot to have it at. So yeah, we'll do Tog right here below Voyage. All right, Cold War. D Machine. D Machine's a pretty solid map. Intro to Cold War. We got the new mechanics and everything, which if you watched the ranking the COD video, the COD games video, you would see that I'm not a fan of the Cold War mechanics. I do think D Machine as a map itself though is pretty fun. I'm gonna put it. I'd rather play Die Rise. No, would I? I don't think I would actually. I think we're gonna put it right here below Attack, but above Shadowed Throne. The Easter egg's pretty simple. You're basically just getting the die, upgrading it to 4 different like variants, and then each one has its own like unique ability. It's nothing too crazy. It's solid. It's a solid introduction to a game, and the atmosphere isn't all that great. The boss fight kind of sucks, but yeah. So I think those are kind of the reasons why it's down here in B tier, but I still enjoy it while I play it. So yeah, I can't put it like too much lower than this. So yeah, here in B I think is fine. Firebase Z, this map, people have like started like coming around to Firebase Z, or I guess maybe not coming around because I'm not a fan of Firebase Z at all. This is actually a terrible map. I'm seeing people like glorify it or like gas it up for some reason, and I have no idea why, because it sucks. The only good thing about Firebase Z is the spawn room. Like the spawn room is pretty, like it's a pretty cool spawn room, but yeah, like the Easter egg sucks, the mimic step sucks, the boss fight sucks, the Ray case sucks. I don't know if I mentioned the atmosphere yet, that sucks. It's just a lazy, horrible map. It's a bad follow-up to D Machine. People need to stop like gassing it up. It's like Transit. Like stop. You're only fooling yourself. So I think Firebase Z, we're gonna put, because these are all survival maps, and I think I would rather play each of these maps than Firebase Z genuinely blows. It's not as bad as Infection, so maybe we'll keep it here at the bottom of D, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. People need to stop gassing it up. All right, Outbreak Cold War. This one goes directly, like this is below the maps I haven't played yet. I would rather like not play a video game than play Outbreak. I actually played it for the first and only time while I was waiting for Reckoning to come out for BO6, and this is terrible. Like it sucks. This is not zombies. This is a joke. This is a joke right here. Like I would prefer actually if when I clicked on Outbreak, instead of it taking me to the map, a massive middle finger emoji just popped up on my screen and laughed at me. I would prefer that than playing Outbreak. This makes no sense. Like I have no idea why people like this. It sort of introduces like objective-based zombies, and it's in the least fun way that they possibly could have done it. Yeah, Outbreak blows, dude. Like blows. Yeah, Outbreak actually sucks so badly. What a joke. Bottom of F. Mauder Toten. Mauder Toten's a pretty good map. It's definitely the best map in Cold War, I think. Pretty solid. The egg's fun. The wonder weapon's really fun. The boss fight's pretty cool. I don't think I like it more than Attack, but I do like it more than D Machine. So of course, it only makes sense to put it right in between these two. I think it's fun. It's a solid map. Atmosphere could be better, but overall, it's cool. All right, Forsaken was definitely a step down from Mauer. It's kind of similar though, where like the Chrysalax is a cool wonder weapon. I gotta say the boss fight isn't great, and the Easter egg is definitely not great. We'll go ahead and put Forsaken here behind Beast. I think that's a good spot to have it at. It's a fine, no, at least the wonder weapon's good. We'll put it here above Beast. Again, the atmosphere is not great. Yeah, I just don't particularly enjoy myself while I'm playing it. It's still solid though. Like I have it in B, so it's like it's got to be somewhat good. But yeah, it's just like I guess for the era that we're in, where like things are more complex and we just expect more, I guess it's definitely a letdown of a map. All right, that is the end of Cold War, and now we have Duran Fong. All right. Yep, that goes there. Duran Fong is the reason I haven't played these two, because it's so bad. Actually worse than Outbreak somehow. It's just a multiplayer map with a big steaming dump on it, basically, and they tried to call it zombies. The fact that they tried to pass this by us and like expect us to enjoy it or something is like so disrespectful to the community. It's insane. It actually makes me like furious thinking about Duran Fong, because it's such a horrible experience. You're doing the same, what, like 3 or 4 objectives over and over and over again to pass the round. Like, dude, give me a break. What is that? Like, what are you thinking, Treyarch? This is such a bad map. Literally the reason why I haven't played these two maps is because of Duran Fong. This is a joke. The hate that it gets is deserved, and it actually deserves more, because no game developer should ever think that this is okay to give to the people that play the game. So yeah, Duran Fong. Duran Fong's an F. That's a joke. Shinonuma. Reborn. Vanguard. The one good map in Vanguard, I think. I actually don't mind this map too much. I think I'd rather play it than Forsaken, honestly. Yeah, I think Shinonuma Vanguard, maybe behind Call of the Dead there. It's still like not super fun, but it makes Shinonuma playable, which is gets a brownie points in my book. And I don't know, maybe just the fact that it's surrounded by maps like Duran Fong makes it like feel so much better, but No, I think it's a solid map. The atmosphere is fun. It's actually round-based, which is a plus. And yeah, I mean, it's a solid quest. They bring the Waff back. It's, you know, it's pretty good. I don't mind it. All right, Terminus is up next. I've soured on Terminus quite a bit, honestly. I know a lot of people think it's the best BO6 map, which I just do not get personally. I think right here, I would definitely prefer it to D Machine, but I don't think it's quite as good as Mauer. It's a big, you know, remote island. They claim it's the biggest map ever, but that's just like water where you're driving like that's not fun. I don't know. I think they could have done really cool stuff with Terminus, and I think that they just kind of missed the mark on it. Like, especially once you know that like the giant tentacle in the water doesn't actually attack you, it just kind of like sprays acid in the water, and the acid tries to attack you. It's a lot less threatening and scary than at least I was imagining when I was thinking of Terminus and when they were talking about it. But I will say this is the beginning of a run of insane boss fights for Treyarch, and obviously, like I said, it's the beginning. So Patient 13 is a phenomenal boss fight. It's super cinematic. It's super fun. And the Beam Smasher is a fun wonder weapon to use as well. So I think, yeah, right here, below Mauer, I think it's a good spot for it. All right, Liberty Falls. This is a map, for sure. Liberty Falls doesn't do it for me, man. I remember watching people playing this early, and it was such a letdown that like they didn't, at least at the time, it felt like they didn't change anything from Cold War. Like Liberty Falls, it just doesn't feel like zombies when I play it. It's obviously the camo grinding map, and yeah, it just doesn't do it for me. I think that's a good spot for Liberty Falls. Right below Derice, but above Tortured Path. I just don't enjoy myself while I'm playing it. The Easter egg sucks. It's too short, and it's not fun. The boss fight is just like HVTs and cracked out zombies. Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. It's whatever. It's not a good time in my opinion. Alright, Citadel des Morts. This is an A tier map for me for sure. I wish that they were able to elaborate more or like put more time into these BO6 maps, because I think Citadel specifically would benefit from that a ton. Like if they were able to like elaborate on the story of like the owl and his bastard sons and add more steps to the swords and their upgrades and stuff, I think Citadel would be an S tier map, honestly. But they weren't able to do that because Treyarch was, you know, stretched thin for the 400,000th time in Activision history. So Citadel's gonna go... Shoot. Would I rather play Citadel or Voyage? I think I'd rather play Citadel, but we're gonna put it behind GK, I think. Yeah, man, the swords. People sleep on the swords. I think they're at least visually they're the coolest wonder weapon ever, and it's not even close. People dog on the damage that they do. I guess that's more of like a high rounder thing. I'm not a high rounder, so like that does not affect me at all. It doesn't change how I view Citadel. The one gripe I would have is I wish each sword had like 1 to 2 more steps to do in terms of upgrading it. I think that would make the quests feel more like, I guess, adventurous, and like feels like you're actually earning the sword, kind of similar to like DE. Like that's like you have to do multiple steps and they're pretty difficult. Citadel, it's like flip, I don't know, like you just kill 4 parasites, knife a door 4 times, and then you get like this insane like super fun sword. I wish there was more to do to get those. So that would be my one gripe with Citadel, is it feels like it's not fully fledged out, both in Easter egg and story. But besides those negatives, it's still like super fun. So I think Citadel's gonna go here, right below GK. Oh boy. Alright, the Tomb. Greatest zombies map of all time, some are saying. No, seriously, the Tomb is gonna go... I do like it more than most, I will say that. Honestly, you could argue, and I think I would argue, that the Tomb has the best atmosphere in BO6. You sort of, I mean, this picture's not doing it justice because that's Spawn. When you get into like the catacombs and stuff, and you're like looking out over like the quick revive area, and then not even to mention when you get into the Dark Ether, dude, the Tomb's insane. All that being said, though, the quest really blows. Like, it is not a good quest at all. The boss fight is actually pretty fun, though. I think we're gonna put the Tomb... Oh gosh, do I prefer the Tomb or Terminus? Dude, I would rather play the Tomb. I'm not kidding. I'm not even kidding. I think we're gonna put the tomb right above Terminus, but below Mauer. It's a reused wonder weapon, which isn't cool, but at least it's like a better version of it, of the ice staff. They brought back mimics, which sucks. The Easter eggs, like I said, the Easter egg sucks, but the atmosphere is really cool. So I think factoring all that in puts the tomb kind of right here below Mauer. Alright man, we're on the home stretch here. We got 4 more maps to go, starting with Shattered Veil, which I think is going to be right here below Citadel. I kind of bounce between these 2 maps being my favorite map of BO6. Similar to actually these 2, I actually sort of changed my mind on which one's my favorite of World War II. But right now I think Citadel I like a little bit better than Shattered Veil. Shattered Veil though, I mean the liminal spaces are super fun. It was nice sort of having like more secret rooms to unlock in a map. I feel like we hadn't gotten that in a long time. And each liminal space gives you like a backstory of what was going on in that mansion and why Richthofen like wanted to be there. It definitely feels like your more intense like BO3 style Easter egg where there's a bunch of stuff to collect. It's a longer Easter egg for sure. There's like I said, the secret rooms and the liminal spaces. A couple grievances I would have would be the wonder weapons aren't unique. They're just kind of like the Alpha Omega like ray gun upgrades. And then the atmosphere could have been better. I think if Shattered Veil was a nighttime map, it would definitely be a lot cooler, but that's kind of the issue that a lot of these BO6 maps suffer from. So we're going to put it here below Citadel. Alright, Peakening is up next. I'm a Reckoning enjoyer. I've soured on it quite a bit since launch. I thought it was easily the best BO6 map when it launched, but I've definitely don't think that anymore. All that being said though, I still really like it. It is a fun map. Gorgafex is a super fun wonder weapon. It's not the most powerful, but in terms of like acquiring it and then upgrading it using either Blanchard or Panos, like it's really fun to get, and it's also really fun to use. Just the effects of it and like the reloading animation, and yeah, dude, it's a fun like concept for a wonder weapon. The Easter egg itself is also really fun. I have a great time every time I play it. I would say the obvious blemish of Reckoning is the atmosphere just not being anything special. It's just like 2 towers with nothing crazy going on really in either one. I will say I think it's really cool that we get to pick between helping Sam or Richthofen. I think it's a really cool spin to add at the end of BO6. I don't know where to put Reckoning, man. I think I would rather play Rave than Reckoning. But I think I'd rather play Reckoning than Darkest Shore. Yeah, I think that's a good spot to have it. I think it's a solid A-tier map. Like I said, Gorgafex is super fun. That's kind of the highlight of the map for me. So yeah, we'll put it here in A. Alright, at the time of this recording, we only have 2 maps for BO7. The launch map being Ashes of the Damned. And we're going to put Ashes here in S tier. It's just where in S tier do I want to put it? I know some people, Mr. AQ Devi, who I have the podcast with, I think this is his favorite map ever. I can't put it quite that high, but I am going to put it here, I think behind Dead of the Night. I think it's my 4th favorite map ever. Ashes of the Damned is a great map, man. It's a spiritual successor to Transit, and it upgrades from Transit in every way possible and then some. Like, the lore behind Ashes of the Damned is insane. The lore of the different POIs is incredible if you actually like sit down and listen to it. It tells a great story of the map, and the Easter egg is basically freeing everyone's souls from those different areas, and then they like circle the pyramid that's floating over Blackwater Lake, and then of course that's where the boss fight takes place. So yeah, dude, I mean, the gauntlet is incredible. The Easter egg, obviously I told you the sort of the things that you're doing, but it's super fun. You drive Tessie around, and I'm glad Tessie is like a focus of the Easter egg as well as the boss fight itself. Yeah, dude, Ashes was a very, very pleasant surprise for BO7. I honestly didn't know if Treyarch still had this in their bag, but when BO7 launched, I was very happy. So Ashes of the Damned is going to be here in S tier. And the final map, Astra Malorum, is going to go here in A tier. But where in A tier does it go? I think would I rather play Astra or Frozen Dawn? That's tough. I think I'd rather play Astra than Frozen Dawn. I think we're going to put it right here, but I don't think it's quite as good as Final Reich. Dude, Astra Malorum, like I don't know why people are starting to sour on Astra Malorum. It makes no sense, dude. This is such a great map. The atmosphere is bonkers, dude. It's a crazy atmosphere. Saturn's right there. You're like in this floating skull in the rings of Saturn. Oscar is a super unique boss enemy for Astra Malorum. He sort of works just like George in Call of the Dead, and we have, like I said, we haven't seen an enemy like that since BO1. Like, it's actually crazy. He kind of just like patrols different areas. If you don't bother him, then you actually don't even have to like deal with him for the entire. I mean, if you obviously if you're doing the Easter egg, then you have to. But outside of that, yeah, I mean, he's just kind of patrolling his own thing, and you can just kind of kill zombies and avoid them. High rounders, it's a little bit more of a problem because I think it becomes like permanently aggro at you past round 50, which is an interesting choice, but I think it also makes Astra a more unique experience by doing that. So I actually don't find that to be problematic personally. But yeah, dude, when I first went to Mars, I was stunned, dude. It was so cool. I could not believe what I was seeing. It's such an immersive, fantastic map that the only reason it's really not an S tier is because I wish the Easter egg had a few more steps. But the LGM1's super fun. It's not crazy powerful, but it's really fun to use. And yeah, dude, it's just the entire thing overall is super fun. So I think we're gonna put Astra here, top of A, right below Final Reich, and yeah, this is the whole tier list here. Let me see if I can center it. Maybe. So yeah, this is the tier list here. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. I appreciate you guys watching a ton. Any feedback or anything that you guys want to tell me in the comments, you want to call me an idiot, that works too. Yeah, just anything you guys want to say, let me know. I appreciate you guys watching a ton, and I will catch you in the next video. Peace.